What up, my man in society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like, share if possible. It does help me get into the algorithm. That's how you would support this channel. And it's free if you tap on the subscribe, the like. That's all it really does take because I'm hoping to make this my official channel and the other one, probably closing it down because, so many, YouTube issues that I've been having with that channel and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get this channel rolling. What I wanted to talk about today was gangsters recording themselves doing crime, right? Now, why am I talking about it in this channel? Because we're going to talk about the psychology behind it, right? Because it's a psychological defect. Well, gangbanging in itself gangsters in themselves is a psychological defect. You know, and it is, like when people try to say, you're full of it. It's not that. It's just these guys just want to be bad. These guys just don't want to grow up. These guys are woo. And to that, I'll say, put your bias to the side and put your ego to the side, right? And just look at this from the outside perspective, right? Without no emotions attached to it. Because clearly when people start saying that, that's their emotions that get the best of them. Now, when people say, like, where's my proof of that this is a psychological defect, right? A traumatic, effect. These kids, these people, when they join gangs, they're roughly, 12, 13, 14 years old when they join gangs, right? So we're talking about 12, 13, and 14-year-old kids. And we are all aware we could lose our lives or do, life behind bars when we join these gangs, right? So we could get killed and do life, okay? So you're talking about a 12, 13, 14-year-old boy that doesn't care whether he lives or dies. He doesn't care if he throws his life away or if he lives or dies. Now, you're telling me that that's a kid who has a good mind on his head right there? You're telling me that that's not a kid who has all kinds of shit going through his head or going through some shit? You're telling me that that's a kid who comes from a nice home and lovely home and everything like that. The kid doesn't care. The kid doesn't care if he lives or dies, bro. 12, 13, 14-year-old doesn't care if he lives or dies. But there's nothing wrong with him. He wants to be that. He wants to live like that. But with that out of the way, right? Gangsters that record themselves doing crime is the most stupidest thing I have ever heard. Right? Gangsters should never record, like, back in my time, if any homie whipped out a phone or any type of recording device, my boy, it was going to be on and cracking. We're going to pull over and we're going to whoop that fool's ass. You never record yourself doing crime, bro. That is the most stupidest shit I have ever heard. There's nothing gangster about that. Now, the defense is always, well, how are people going to know that we did the jale? Or how are people going to know that we went to the enemy's neighborhood looking for them? Or how are people going to know that we caught this fool slipping and stuff like that? That's the point of gangbanging, bro. They're not supposed to know. Nobody's supposed to know. Just you. You guys or whoever was there. You guys are the only ones that are supposed to know. Nobody else is supposed to know. Because if everybody else knows, guess who else knows? Yes, the 5-0, the placas, the jura, the, puercos, PD, the whatever names that people want to give them, the cops, they're going to know. So when people say, are people supposed to know? That is the most ridiculous thing that I have ever heard. They're not supposed to know. Nobody's supposed to know. If anything, you might even want to yell at another neighborhood, a different neighborhood. That way you divert the attention to them over there. And you guys don't be in the spotlight. You don't want nobody to know. As long as you know, or the ones that were there with you guys know, that's the only thing that matters. That's the only opinions who count. Everybody else's opinions don't matter. It's irrelevant. They're not supposed to know. Nobody's supposed to know. Who cares? You want them to think you guys never put in work. That's fine. Yeah, we never do nothing. The more they think like that, the better. That's how you stay out of jail. See, but the thing is that the reason why they record themselves now, it's not because it's about the gram or nothing like that. It's for the attention. They're craving the attention of everybody else, of strangers, right? Because what people think about them means that much to them. They want everybody to think that they're down, that they're crazy, that they're really about that. They want people to think that about themselves. It'll make them feel better about their overall personality or, character. Why does that matter? It's a psychological defect. You know what I mean? The lack of attention, always feeling, neglected or unnoticed or unappreciated, or, feels like he's no good. He's not good at nothing. So now he feels like, he's good at this, or wants people to think he's good at this and wants to excel in this, right? Because at least here people now give him that respect or that recognition, right? So that's what they're looking for, the craving, because obviously they're trying to fill that void that they have, within themselves about their feelings, because somebody who they looked up to or cared about or loved or whatever, obviously didn't give him that that attention, or display any kind of emotions, or probably belittled them, and stuff like that, right? No sirves para nada, pinche pendejo, estúpido, shit like that, right? Making them feel useless, dumb, and everything. That's why it's never good for you to tell a kid that, or a parent to tell a kid that, because they look up to you. Your opinions of them mean that much, because they love you with all their heart and everything like that. So for that person to be belittling them like that, even though they don't show it, it does, tend to create some form of trauma, or at least self-doubt in themselves, right? So that's why they crave the attention of the audience now, right? Because they're trying to fill in a space that they just can't fill in, because no matter how much attention they get or whatever, they're never happy, because the attention and the craving of the person that they truly want, they're not getting it from, or they're not giving it to them, and therefore that's the reason why they just spiral out of control, because they're not able to realize that. That's why these behaviors tend to occur. And overall, if you're a criminal, it's stupid that you're recording yourself doing crime for the very reasons that I had said prior to this. You know what I mean? No one's supposed to know. That's the game, right? You're supposed to get away and stuff like that. So by you recording yourself and putting yourself out there like that, is like, that's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So it's like, you don't want them to think that you guys did it. Nah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. But if you're recording yourself, do this, do that, that's for attention. Because, I mean, if you're recording yourself hitting somebody up and you're already clutching your waist, you're not going to shoot that person. Because if you start shooting, the guy's already recording, so what now? Like, that's stupid. Like, people don't really think about their actions, because, they don't know no better. And, nowadays, this whole everyone caring about everybody else, or the status of people, or the clout, blinds them from actually making rational decisions. Because everybody wants to be an actor, wants to portray themselves to be tough and everything like that. It's a cry for attention, bro. That doesn't make you hard. That doesn't make you down. It just means that, bro, you just crave attention, bro. You're a diva. For those who are not able to recognize their psychological defect. Now, like I said, with individuals, it is no different, right? What these gang members do, right, is no different to the effect of, people who flash Louis Vuitton or Versace, or, all the stacks of money or whatever, the rent money or whatever the fuck, and act like they balling when damn well that these guys don't even have any money, or they're struggling to pay their car payments. They show you a badass whip, but they can't even pay the car payments. They live higher than what they could afford, and that they drown themselves in debt, right? Because of the illusion that they're trying to give off, because they want people to think that they're successful. They want people to think that they got it like that they made something of themselves. Like I said, because maybe, they were always thought that they were useless or no good for nothing, or were never going to achieve nothing. Maybe somebody told them that you're never going to do nothing with your life. So now they want to play off this image, because the attention that they're getting in return, right? It's semi-fulfilling the whole that they're trying to fulfill, to fill up the space, right, of that emotion. So this is no different, right? Just it's on a different scale, right? But essentially it's done for the same reasons, right? because people want people to think, highly of them. That's the only reason why people get Versace, Louis Vuitton, and everything like that, because they know that other people know how much it costs and everything like that. And you want people to think you're balling and everything, so you're craving the attention of everybody else. It's not because you actually think that design looks good or it's good material or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because it's a basic design. It's just it's average. You know what I mean? And the material is no better than any other material. But the fact that that everyone knows that it's expensive, that's what you're craving, the attention, everyone knowing that you ballin'. And that's what people want because of that psychological defect that they have, right? Them not being happy with their current situation, or, how they currently live, or what they could really actually afford and do. They feel like they deserve more, and they're ashamed of their current status. Maybe because people, they might think that people, whatever they were told was true or whatever. So they're trying to facade themselves, lying to themselves, right? That's why they'll take the lie to extreme lengths, because once, if they realize, if they admit to what's really going on, their whole entire world that they created will crumble. It's a psychological hold, and it's real shit, bro. People will take the lies to extreme because they know as soon as they admit it, their world will come crashing down, bro. And some people don't come back from that. Some people take their lives, their family's life, whatever, because they weren't able to cope with reality. And a lot of people, they lie, con men and stuff like that. And a lot of people do a lot of shit, but for the very reasons that I just said. Psychological trauma is a real thing. Um, you know, Seek help, therapy. It does help. We all need help. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with asking for some help. You know what I mean? Um, and if you're a parent, be there for your kids. Be in their lives. You know, come at them the right way. Don't be insulting them, belittling them. You'll be surprised how much, sitting down and actually having conversations and understanding people, goes a long way. I'm just saying, shadow we up.